follow that book. It will really give you some guidance. Yes. The other part that I've said that I'm going to be sharing, there are some other 1 or 2 projects, PDFs, really to make you conversant, so that you really read those drawings and learn how to come up with these wiring schematics after you learning what? Learning your load calculation background. Then you really apply it to reading those drawings that I'll be sharing, that would help you also come up with your own designs on a given project. Okay, so remaining with 2 things here so that we are done with electrical design. One thing is earthing, structural grounding. Yeah, the earthing, and then lastly will be the lighting. So to talk about earthing, we really know, as electrical engineers, we have to earth our building, our structures. As we know, electrical leakages do happen to our buildings that can cause shocks. So we really have to earth, and also we earth the building, in other words, to have that equipotential between the earth and our structure. Are we together? So I hope you all know that background yeah, you really know that. So we make sure we connect. Let us see for this building. So what are the components of earthing? First of all, what are the components that do we really have in earthing? We do have first of all, we have, this is a ring. It's called a ring method of earthing. Connecting like a ring on the side of the building, so that you connect the rebars. You connect the rebars to that ring that is really earthed at, having earthing rods at different points. So this is that dotted line represents our ground ring. It's made of a single core schist core cable, which is really offset 1 meter away from the building, and it's buried about 750 millimeters below the pavement. So I want you also to research more about earthing, why those distances, and the different types of earthing. We have this ring type, and we also have where we just use a single load, being all our building having a single load, copper load, that is used for for the earthing. But for huge building, and of course, for huge buildings, very huge projects, we really go with the most efficient method, which is the ring method, having this ring. So as I've told you, we have that ring which has different earthing points, in most cases at edges of the building. These earthing points, these earthing points there. Then we connect rebars. We connect the rebars. We connect the bonding. These are called bondings to the rebars. So we connect those single core sheath copper cable for bonding rebars to the to the ground ring. So we're having our ground ring here. Then we connect our rebars at the main rebars. You also have to know a little of a structural engineering of buildings. So we get those rebars that are those columns. I would call them columns, but inside the columns we do have those steel bars that are bonded together to form the column. I hope you understand what I'm explaining. Martin, I hope you're understanding what a column is. A column is made of, in most cases, made of steel bars and concrete. So those bars inside, they are bonded together to form that rebar. So we bond a copper cable to those rebar, then we connect it to the what? To the ground ring that we've formed. So that ground ring is then connected. You see this schematic here. So this is the bonding to the rebar. Then from that rebar, we come connect to the earth rod. This earth rod is the one really connecting to the what? To the ground. This core. Then we have a connection to the rebar. So we really make sure we connect this copper cable the longest, in other words, that will run from one floor to the rest of the floors, from the ground. We're together, because if you to see this corner, if we have a column here, it really has to run up to this upper floor, because here there is no any bonding. This is inside. This is in air. So up to this point, it is in space up to this point. So we are trying to create equipotential up to this level of the ground. So literally that's the earthing that we have. So we're earthing this side. We're not closing the ring to this point, because this side, as I told you, this is the lower ground. This side is the lower ground. So this cable, when it reaches here, we're going to elevate it to, remember, this is also a ground. In other words, it's the ground. It's how this side, if this is a ground, this is like inside the ground. So we're going to elevate at this point, this ring, so that it comes to the upper ground at this point. So this upper ground, then we ground the rest of the side of the what? Of the building, like that. So that's literally our grounding. So you have to go and read about how we come about with these dimensions here. The selection of that size of that copper cable. Yes. Then we come to our lighting design. Our lighting design also has its BA standard. There is a textbook called, let me see, I also have it online. On my drive. Let me see if I type it here, I can get it. There is a textbook that really describes about, that describes lighting protection and earthing, that you really have to read. Anyway,
Eka,
yes. Oh,
I
it's
see
here.
you're
It's here.
I see you're looking for things seriously.
These guys have to know that design
It's
really is
about
for
research,
research.
yeah?
They have to research.
Yeah,
Anyway,
you can show him, show him.
I'm
So,
sorry for that. I'm really sorry for all that delay.
no, you have to show them. It's fine.
Yeah, I'm really sorry for that. But I had to get that textbook. Anyway, if I fail to get them right now, I have those books on my drive. I'll be sharing them with you so that so that you get a good feel of this. But it is this one, BS66. Yeah, this one, this textbook here. We follow for lightning protection. We follow the BS 6651, and also BSEN, this one. So they are really the codes that we follow, but there is a specific book, the textbook that I wanted. No, this is lighting side protection. No, it's not that one that I wanted. Anyway, I'll be sharing those books. So those are 3 resources I'm going to share for this session. Yeah, so they will be hopeful, really hopeful in this lighting protection and lighting design. So for lighting design, there is also some YouTube guy. Let me see here if I can, that really describes well how to design lighting. I'm going to also share a template for all the rest. Next week, sorry for this, for most of the inconveniences I've caused this week because of my abrupt schedules that happened. Some emergencies happened. I really want to apologize for that. But I'm going to share some resources that are really going to help you to ease your research, because typically that is really at your side that you have to do. Mostly what is a must on my side is really to show you how to use AutoCAD to come up with the electrical design, a good electrical design. So typically that is the scope of the program. So what I'm really remained with on my side for the electrical design is to really assess you, and also I'm going to share these resources. I want you to come up with a electrical design for the other building that I shared with you. So for purposes of references, I'm going to share a different projects so that you come up with the electrical design for the other what? The other project that I shared with you before. Are we together, Martin? I really need, man, I really need it next week that you come up with that electrical design, a draft of yours, so that I can identify the weakness, your weak point, so that I really, even if it really needs some bit of reviewing the electrical concepts, I can review it after you coming up with a draft of your own design. That in that way you make life more easier and simpler. So this week I'm going to share this, and also those resources I've said that you really have to read about, that lighting design and earthing. These ones come together really. I want you to review lighting, First wait, sorry about that. There is some guy I subscribed for on my subscription. Was I in this Google? Sorry for that. Let me see my history. Did I review that? I think it was in some other account. Yeah. But let me see here. Lightning. If I can come across that guy. It was in some. If I don't see it right now, I hope I will be sharing it. Yeah, this guy. Eh? This course. Let me see. Martin, are you seeing that one? Yeah? Martin. Yeah. This guy explains very well how the initial concepts of what? Lightning protection. So my role here is really this. I'm going to share with you these templates. They can just help you to come up with this lighting design here. So maybe the how to work them has done some new thing. You see, it's not a sorry for that. This here. These things also. Anyway, those are the advantages of having a good device. Now, you can suffer with such things, but anyway, regardless, we have to study. Yes, so I was trying to show you some new thing here. Mm, You see that polyline here? So this is a polyline. Do you know how to construct a polyline? So let us see how we come up with this polyline. So it's one that we use to describe this copper tape for the lightning protection. Sorry for that slowness of my PC, but anyway, as it is recovering this side, so we come to our draw tool here. Our draw tool there. Let me try to enlarge this. Anyway, I want you to first get this. This guy explains very well how you can come up with a good lightning design, and I think these two videos here. So you can see him. It's called what? You can I don't know. Martin, I think you can take a screenshot of this. You can take a screenshot of this. This guy is really he gives a brief review of what you studied in the electrical installation regarding earthing and what lightning design. So these two things, these two courses, yeah, you can pass through their short videos about not everything is important. You can spend about 30 minutes and you are done with both of them. So back to our electrical design, our scope. Today I wanted to teach you something about a polyline. I don't know why this thing. It is here. Okay, so this is our polyline. So remember to have your thing in, because now here we are working in lightning protection. Please select a layer for what? For lightning protection, Oh, yeah, lightning protection. You make it current. Yeah. So I want to show you how we could come up with a polyline for today. Yeah. So you can see this is our polyline here. Yes. We select it. Don't know why I'm still selecting a circle, but anyway, let me escape that. My PC is slow, and when it comes to it being connected to to internet as well as you using it, it makes life more hard. But anyway, we select our polyline here. You can draw it here. Let me say to that point there. So for a polyline, you see we've selected it in a form of a line, but it can construct different shapes. So if you right click here, you can go to arc. You see arc. So in other words, now we can draw what? An arc. Oh, what happened? Let me repeat that. Select my polyline here. I can draw it in line form. Can make it straight, more straight like that, from like that. When I reach at that point, I can right click here, you right click, you can select an arc, you see, you see the arc is there, so it is still in arc mode. Can right click there, I come back to line, you see, you see. So that's the way how a polyline works. You can really work with it. It can construct a lot of. That's why it's called a polyline. But anyway, coming to its properties here, if I'm select this one that I've constructed, if I right click it here, then I come to properties, to its properties here. Anyway, they are coming, don't worry. My piece is a bit slow, so the properties are on their way. It needs to be restarted a bit, but anyway, we have to finish today. Yeah. So anyway, when you come to properties, I hope also you at that side you're doing something. So when you come to properties, there is a property called global width. Global width can adjust the width. It's like a thickness of that polyline. You can adjust its global width so that it appears more thick. In other words, it comes up like the way you would want to describe a copper tape, are we together? So you see the initial drawing that I've done, this initial thing that I've drawn here, it is really, you can really see the thickness is like a line. But when you come to properties here, to its properties here, let me try to enlarge this there, this. When I come to properties here, there is a property of when you scroll down, global width. You see, global width is still at 0. So when you increase this global width, let me say to about 10, really what happens? It's that this thickness is, you see that the thickness is no longer like for a line, it's coming out like the way we want this copper. You see, this copper tape that we drew here, the way it came out. We really want that thing to come out like that. So you can see for this one, since we've selected different of them, the global width is different. But if I select this, you can see the global width that I used for this is really, it is 22.3. So, I mean 23.5. So really that is a huge one. So you can select based where you worked. It can tell you, really this step is not coming out well when I print out. Please increase it, so to really show that this is a copper tape. So another way you can construct that polyline, if you have already an existing one, I'll show you. If you construct this, I would really select that one and copy it. There is another property I want to show you, really. I mean another trick I want to show you how to use AutoCAD dealing with polylines. So I would copy select it here. Select it. Let me first remove this 90 degrees thing. So I may put it here. After pressing it there, I move this extreme corner here. This one here. I move it there. Then as long as it is highlighted, you see it is still highlighted. You come to this extreme end here. There is this option of add vertex. Are you seeing? This option of add vertex enables you to add, you see. But now they have used a different what? A difficult cone of the what? Of this polyline. It has two corners, two ends. So if I am to add vertex, let me work it from here. You see what I mean? If I'm to add vertex here, if I come here and add vertex from that side, you see, it just creates like a line thing. You see, a single line. Are you seeing here? So here, in other words, I've added the vertex. I'm moving this tape. You see, I add vertex here. I come to that. When it is highlighted, I just put the cursor there, like that. Add vertex. I move. I've added another vertex like that. Like that. But if I move from this other extreme end of this polyline, sorry for that. If I use this other end of the vertex, if I highlight that, and I'm to use this other extreme end of the vertex here, here, and I add vertex, you would see that I'm going to, you see, they come out to, in other words, I'm stretching one of it. You see, I'm stretching one of it away from it and yet creating another vertex. So it is good if you to use this formula of creating, doing this step here using already an existing one, to make sure you follow this extreme end that won't disturb you. You start from one corner to another. Then one other thing, when you're designing a lightning design here, it is really good to identify the highest. There are different types of roofs. There is a contemporary, there is a Tuscan roof. Now this is the Tuscan roof. There is a Tuscan roof, contemporary, and a tropical roof. You have to go and search about those roofs I've said. Martin, temporary, contemporary, tropical, and Tuscan roofs. So these roofs are different in type. In other words, they are also all protected differently. Now for this Tuscan, you would see it has points where it has highest points, and points where you would see slopes on the roof. Are you seeing now? Here it is sloping. Now here at this point it is the highest here. You would see it. Now here there is this point here. Then you also have this point. Now to determine the number of these lightning arresters I'm putting like that, really go back to this video that I've told you. You're going to recover all that background that we really did in installation design. You learned as an electrical engineer. You go back, read that only. But for now, for the purpose here, I've told you, you really just draw. I've shown you how to draw this tape. I want you to practice it on the design that we've given you. Then this lightning arrestor, really I'm going to just share again another template of other symbols that you will really need to come up with the design. So Martin, for now, I really expect by next week Friday, you can really design you can really come up with a full electrical design after me having shared with you all the symbols you can really need to design. Then make sure to come up with that good design, as I told you, that good draft. Please and please make sure you research everything that I've told you, because the rest of the things I've really said, they are really electrical background that you must know. So, and I've tried to give you some of the resources that you can really review for your own purpose. I'll be sharing the rest. I've promised to share 3 resources. One, lightning and earthing textbook, but I've shared some video that you can really watch to guide you more. Then 2, guide to wiring, a guide to wiring. Yes, I'm going to share with you that textbook. 3, I've promised to share 1 or 2 designs that can really help you get more familiar with circuiting. I've just showed you how to really read, how to how to how to make a group of equipments in a single circuit. How do you what do you base on to select maybe this like that I have told you is the circuit for sockets in a kitchen should be really separate from the rest of the circuits. What do you base on? Literally, it is load calculation. So I'm going to share with you those are 1, 2 projects which really you have to review your electrical load calculation in order to understand the electrical science behind those circuits that I would have made. Then my outcome of the expected outcome that I expect from you after having shared all those resources, I'm going to share them tomorrow. A must tomorrow. Bill, please kindly be on me so that tomorrow, regardless of my busy schedule, that I do share those drawings, those resources. Then the outcome I expect by Friday, at least you have a draft. Please and please come up with a draft so that I know your weaknesses. We review so that on Saturday we review those weaknesses, and on Sunday we do the plumbing. Are we together? On Sunday, next session, I hope we shall be done with plumbing. Then we call it a month, because today is what? Today is today is what? 19th. So next weekend will be 20. Will be what? 20 what? 26th. Is it? Yeah, which will be closing our month that we really subscribed for. So kindly support me in that, so that I can also be able to give out results that are better. So that next weekend we'll work on the plumbing. Then I'll add in more 1 weekend for this course, because really I've been up and down. I'm sorry for that. I've not yet given much of what was expected. So to compensate that, I will add in 1 more weekend that we shall review what you might have done. I will assess what you might have done for your for your plumbing, and then we call it, and then there we shall be the plumbing and HVAC, a little of the HVAC, really a little of it. We shall not go deep into the mechanics, the deep mechanics, because literally that is a full course. HVAC is a full course on itself. So here, when I say MEP, we are really looking at how to use AutoCAD to come up with a robust electrical design to the fullest. Then also plumbing and a little of the HVAC. Yeah, so next weekend we shall be looking at HVAC after having assessed your electrical design that you might have come up with. So kindly, before Friday, share with me DWGs of what you might have done, so that I identify the areas of improvement. Then we work on that on Saturday. Then Sunday we do plumbing, inshallah. Then we shall be done with our course. Yeah, Martin, give me any questions before I close this, because today we are done with today's session. We are ending the session today for today. So Martin, any question, any supplement, any submission, just kindly unmute and share with us.
Yeah, I wanted to ask